Hi, and welcome to Between Two Twitch Banners. I am here. My name is Tim Borelli. I'm an animator at Tekla. I'm here with Richard Oud, who is the lead animator at Guerrilla Games on the Machine team. Richard gave an amazing talk yesterday at the Animation Bootcamp, and do you want to, kind of give a little bit of background on, how that went for you? How did you feel
Yeah,
like it
that went pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really fun. I had to open up the day, which was kind of scary, but in the end, it was really fun to just talk to all these amazing people and I guess to share some of the experience that we went through with Horizon. So
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it went really well. I think everybody really enjoyed it, and I'm sure it feels great to be done.
Yes.
And now you just have to do this, and you
Exactly.
have to suffer me for 5 minutes. That's fine. Don't worry. I'm good at this. I can carry people. I did it for those guys.
There you go.
So my first question for you is, what inspired you to get into animation?
Okay. So the thing is, I never actually knew that I wanted to be an animator, but I actually grew up being this 80s kid, always having these awesome Saturday morning cartoons. So I always loved that, and I also grew up during the second golden era of Disney. So I always went to those movies. But basically, for learning, it was always my teachers were always saying, "Yeah, just do something practical, right?" So I actually started to study being an electrician, for example, or being an IT engineer, and I just hated all that. And then I just started talking to my parents, saying, "Okay, I really don't want to do this for the rest of my life, right?" And they said, "Okay, what do you like?" And I was always into being creative, and I was a really big graffiti guy, for example. And they said, "Okay, let's just go to an art school and see an open house what they all have." And I was really dead set on being an illustrator. And then I got there and I saw that they had an animation department, which was mind blowing to me that you can actually do this as a profession. So I just applied for that, and that's when the ball started rolling.
Awesome. What were your favorite Saturday morning cartoons? What do you remember waking up specifically not to miss?
Okay, so I was really big on Turtles.
Nice.
That was one of the things. Also, Thundercats was a really big one for me.
Yeah.
DuckTales, for example,
oh
those
man,
type of things.
I love the DuckTales and Rescue Rangers and Tailspin. All the,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
the stuff that was
I
always
loved
on.
all that stuff. That was such a great time for Saturday morning and afternoon cartoons.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. So what do you hope to accomplish with your work? You're working games, your animation, giving talks. Is there anything specific that you hope that any messages or any lessons that you hope that people learn from the work that you do?
So, I mean, the first and foremost thing is that I just want to create these believable worlds with relatable characters, which is kind of hard to do when we were doing Killzone, just because it's human targets that you had to shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's but then when Horizon actually came around, we actually really had something there that we can actually put a lot of time into making this a relatable world with lots of cool characters. And even on the robots, we try to define as much of the personalities onto different robots as we could. So. And I just want the player to have a fun time when they're doing that. Just relax and be entertained and cruise through it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I can definitely say that your team as a whole built a very believable world to run around in, and they're machines now, right? You mentioned yesterday, a lot of people call them dinosaurs more than they should.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about?
Sorry about that. So the weird thing is we were just that Robo Dinosaur game, right? And we always refer to them as these machines. So and then if you look at the visual design of these things, there's not actually a lot of robotic inspired or dinosaur inspired machines in there. So, but then basically everything that we use as a reference, for example, it's all based on animals. So I'm not quite sure how many people actually have access to the vault, but once you look back at the talk, you can actually see how much animal reference we used on all these machines.
Yeah, there was a lot, and hopefully that talk will they usually put those up 6 weeks-ish from the end of GDC, so y'all should check it out because it is amazing, and I learned a whole lot about how they use reference to get we all did. We all learned a whole lot about how the reference that they used to make those creatures come to life was incredible.
Yeah.
What is your favorite bit of game animation?
Ooh, that's a hard one. So, okay, I'm a big platformer guy, right?
Yeah.
So, I always go crazy on Ratchet and Clank, for example, just because I love those designs, but I also love how bouncy and cartoony everything is on those things. So, that always is the one game that always stands out to me. But another one that started the ball rolling for me on Horizon as well is how good the horses on Shadow of the Colossus. Like I just love how
yeah.
good that thing is. And
Yeah.
like it's not perfect animation, but it just works within that world. And
Yeah.
you know, it's so stylized, and it's almost sort of like hypnotizing to just keep watching that thing
Yeah,
running around.
yeah. I mean,
So-
they did a really nice job of making that horse feel like you needed that horse and to get through that world.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you felt like I think just for that you felt really attached to it alone, and then just the technical achievement they did, especially back
Oh,
in the
yeah,
day when
definitely.
you know. I mean, I remember once I had an art director tell me that he wanted our next animation system to be a character who climbs on a piece of cloth that's like that's attached to a horse that's trying to ride a giant. And I looked at him like, so you played Shadow of the Colossus last week or something? Yeah, and we never actually did do it.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Well, it was the same thing for us. I mean, of course, we sort of like started Horizon, and then the one thing that everybody always references, like, okay, like look at how Shadow of Colossus did it, and,
Yeah.
just sort of like try to do that, and then
Yeah.
that's sort of like got us
Yeah.
rolling.
Well, I think people are gonna say now, let's see how Horizon did it, and
Yeah.
like that's yeah.
Yeah,
That's on you now.
Again, like
now it's all on you.
It's so weird,
No
like to hear
pressure.
that stuff.
No
Yeah, I know what I
pressure.
mean? Exactly. It's still so like overwhelming the response to the game and like how much people
Yeah.
like the game and how they relate to that. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
I think we have a little bit more time. Let's see. Let's see if we have anything on the chat that anybody wants. Anybody want to ask anything? We're looking right at you. I'm looking. Everyone's favorite color must be pink.
So
I
like,
think
it's like green,
I'm
right?
in a V-neck right now, is what's happening. I got made fun of last year by one David Gibson for not wearing my V-neck properly. So this year, I'm in a V-neck. And it looks like they're setting up over there. So what are you looking forward to for the rest of the week? Once like today is over and whatnot, like what's the next thing you're looking forward
I'm
to?
really looking forward to Rigid Lego stock on
Oh,
Quill.
yeah.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
that game. Like we've played it at the studio, and it's such an amazing game. Like
Yeah.
it's such a fun character, and that's so like that world that they made. Oh, so what?
What?
Okay, gotcha. That world is like they really draw you in, and they did so many smart things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that one.
Awesome.
What else? Like there's the entire day, of course. Like today, there's going to
Yeah.
be so many cool talks out
Yeah.
there. So that's really good. There you go.
Yeah.
Rigid Lego.
Yes.
How much did animation meant to help you at your job?
Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go. Oh, there's actually a lot of questions.
Oh,
now.
there's our. Oh, sorry, we ignored you.
Yeah.
We were
Why?
just
Okay, let's
having
just
our
start with why
moments, yeah.
dinosaurs as opposed to mythical creatures. It's actually so again like they weren't like real dinosaurs. Like it's that whole backstory of Gaia, so like trying to like recreate the world in Horizon. So like there's actually a backstory to why these are like the animal. I'm not gonna spoil it just in case
Yeah.
like people haven't played the game, but there's a reason why. So
Yeah.
so how much did animation meant to help you at your job? The thing is, like, I graduated and then I landed the job at Gorilla, but I already signed up for animation mentor just because I wanted to become better at polish and stuff like that, and just in general to get a better grasp on the entire like animation stuff. So it actually helped me out a lot, and especially in terms of workflow and stuff like that. So yeah, that really. And on Horizon, I actually did the animals and creatures course as well, which is really
Okay.
nice because I never animated quadrupeds or like creatures before
Awesome.
this game. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Richard, for joining me on this interview. I think we're out of time. And coming up next is a first-person animation panel with Esther Coe, Zach Lowry, and Esther's blocking the faces of the people I'm trying to look at. Esther Coe, Zach Lowry, Ryan Duffin, and James Benson. So enjoy.
Enjoy, guys.